and under 3 in the ring, please. First place under 2-year-old milker goes to Carol Ackerley with Lee Tamarack LTA Zelda. Second place to Jeremy Lesniak with Lesniak Hills Chaser Raja. And third place to Calvin Abrams with Critter Country's FC Molly. 2 and under 3 is in the ring. We had a couple of Alpines get their star this year. Julia Stearns had an Alpine doe get her star with a total of 20.58 points. And Trudy Lombard had an Alpine get her star this year with 20.31 points. The High Point Alpine is Sweet McLala Sultan.
Almost everything. South Carolina, yeah, for many years. So we had everything. And a lot of them. And then before that it was footwear.
It was a close placing, definitely with the trade-off in some categories between our top pair here. General appearance belonging to our first place doe, mammary system really belonging to our second place doe, body capacity easily belonging to our first place doe, and then dairy character actually giving the edge to our second place doe. And so you say, well, G-Con tonight, that means that second place doe wins, but then this is where we get to be a judge. We would say how much general appearance and how much of the mammary system will this balance out. And there was just such a strong advantage in the general appearance, and this is really what the difference is here. She's more level across the loin as she moves about the ring. She walks with a tighter toe in the front feet, with the front feet pointing more correctly forward. She has more strength and substance of bone. She has a more desirable front end assembly all the way around. She obviously, as I said, has the advantage of body capacity with the width and the strength all the way throughout, especially down into the depth of the flank area. But like I said, she does yield to the openness of ribbing, the pliability of the skin and hair, and the capacity of the rear rudder, the width of the rear, the height of the rear rudder, I should say, to our second place doe. And there's two placing over 3. Ironically, it is going to be her general appearance that is going to place in 2 over 3, and that being the smoother blending from the neck into the withers, the strength into the area of the chine, the more desirable slope of rump and length of rump and hips and pins, the more proper angulation to the rear leg as she moves around the ring, and the extension of the fore rudder on this animal, of course, in dairy character. 3 is placing over 4 for the advantage she has in the mammary system. Probably one of the prettiest mammary systems in the ring as far as form and structure of it. It is only, unfortunately, a first freshening mammary system, but it is the mammary system that is placing 3 over 4 with the height and width of the rear rudder, coupled along with with that, the strength into her feet and legs, the pastureance, and the body capacity she has, but yielding to a few of the does behind her, just a smoother blending walk as she moves to our few animals behind her. Then 4 is placing over 5, stronger into the rear pastureance. She has more capacity into the rear rudder, a further extension of the forerudder, but yielding to the more uphill doe, the length of body that we have in 5. 5 is placing over 6 for this length of body, and a doe that actually had to move up quite a ways. I was down here looking, and she was the second one at the head of the line here, and I just did not see what a beautiful side profile and general appearance that she had. I was just looking at her rear rudder, and so as we moved around the ring, she easily brought up general appearance, making that placement, the length of body, the levelness over the top line, and it is a very strongly attached mammary system, but yielding to the width of the rear rudders from behind, and of course the strength of the rear pastureance. Then we have 6 is placing over 7, just stronger into the area of the chine, more correctly level and a wider forerudder attachment. 7 is placing over 8, a more correct angulation to the rear leg, teats that are pointing more correctly toward the ground, and more width and strength and substance of bone to her. 8 is placing over 9. This is a close placing with teats that are pointing more correctly toward the ground. In the mammary system, she also has an advantage in body capacity, being deeper and more well sprung into the rear rib, and just a little more cleanliness into the front end assembly. She moves above the ring, but not quite as flashy across the top line as a couple of the other does behind her, but still very functional. Then we have 9 is placing over 10 for the strength of those mammary system attachments and the total area of udder attachment and capacity, but yielding to this really long, big doe that we have down in 10. First line is excused, and 10 is placing over 11 for the balance of the mammary system, the width of the mammary, the width of the rear rudder, and height of that rear rudder, and of course the length of body that she has. 11 is then placing over 12, primarily general appearance and more correct angulation to the rear leg, strength into those pastureants, but yielding to a few of the does behind her, the more smoothness and blending, but yielding to the capacity of the mammary that we like to see, and she's to be commended for that. More proper balance, maybe the height of the rear rudder that we have. 12 is in placing over 13, primarily dairy character placing here, and of course capacity and the strength of those mammary system attachments. 13 is in placing over 14, just more evenly balanced with the teats pointing more correctly towards the ground on this doe, also a bit more flattered and open to the rib and yielding to the leg. Then it is our 14th place doe placing over 15, just a longer body doe, a doe that yields maybe the placement to the few of the does behind her, but just her length and levelness and her gracefulness makes that motion, make that placement. 15 is placing over 16, I think that's where I am. 15 is placing over 16 for the advantage that she has in the mammary system with a more capacity into the rear rudder. 16 is in placing over 17 in general appearance, strength and substance of bone, strength into those feet and legs.